Hey, good morning. Welcome to Thursday morning. Wow, here already. Now, we've got a first today. A while ago, I got some cards, and they are the Starseed Oracle. Now, I only usually use these for myself. Oops, sorry, this chair's making funny noises. I only usually use these cards for myself. But no matter how much I asked this morning when I was choosing the cards, because I've got 1, 2, 3. So no matter how much I kind of checked in, all I got was this bright blue light and just kept saying Starseed, Starseed, Starseed. So there we go. Now, I need to have the book with me because these are very, very different cards. So you will have to bear with me and excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Definitely excuse me, because I'm going to have to look up. Morning, Kev. I'm going to have to look up the meanings of these cards because they're very, very different. They're an oracle. Hang on. I know what I've forgotten. I've forgotten some music. So, let's get some nice music on. If it will come up for me. There we go. This is the same music we had last night. So, and I haven't even plugged my speakers in this morning. Ugh, what a morning I've had. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? And also this is giving some time for anyone else to jump on who wants to jump on. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Right. Now we have a little bit of background music. Again, I don't know if you heard, Wendy, I was drawn to my Starseed Oracle this morning. Now, I've got to have the book here because I've only used these a handful of times and I've only ever used them for myself. So this is going to be extremely different for me. They're very, very different cards. They don't run in the same kind of vein, if you like, as the other oracles and stuff, but I will be getting messages through as well. So the last 2 times, okay, I have been told basically to pick out of the Starseed Oracle for me, which was probably about a week or so ago, and then again today. I have picked exactly the same 2 cards. Do you think that's telling me something? I do. Right. And I shuffled them and I cut them and shuffled them again. And we have just 2 cards this morning from this. Ha! Okay, it's all right. You'll find out why I've said ha in a minute. The first one we have is, where are we? Loosen your grip. And underneath it, it says coping mechanisms, density, addiction, and let God in. So JKL, this is in alphabetical order. Loosen your grip. So, okay, we're cyclic beings, meaning it's like the wheel, the wheel of the year. Everything goes round. Women have cycles, usually, or it used to be, in tune with the moon. The moon goes round the sun. No, it doesn't. The moon goes round the earth goes round the sun. It's all cyclic. And Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and seasons. So it's all cyclic. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. And our lives go in cycles as well. You'll find things go round, and it's all. The things we cling to are so often those we most need to let go of. The food, the substances, the relationship, the job, the people pleasing. And I'm sure we can all identify to all, if not one, if not all of those. Okay, the things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the part we're most afraid to leave empty, the part we guard and don't let grace into. But by keeping that space covered with something that doesn't serve us or clinging to it for fear of it not staying of its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. A Course in Miracles tells us, I can't think who did A Course in Miracles. Was it Tara Brach or was it Louise Hay? I think it might have been Tara Brach did A Course in Miracles. Whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. And both are very, very true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control, to release your coping mechanisms and leave space for grace and God to enter, to surrender all that feels dense to the divine. Loosening your grip doesn't mean that what you're clinging to will go away. It may, or it might stay. But you can be sure that what is for you will find you. And you'll breathe easier knowing that you've shifted from relying on your own strength to surrendering to the grace of light. And then it gives us a little thing to think about, to meditate on, something like that. And Starseed Soul Inquiry. So you're asking your soul for the answers of this. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming place? And that's something we need to look inside ourselves. You know, we were talking about yesterday, asking our soul what it wants. This is the way of doing it, meditating and asking your soul, what are we clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? So that's that one. Now, the second one, which I kind of chuckled at a bit, is the 7-Star Sisters. Now, one of the cards from yesterday morning, and one of the cards, I think it was Lisa's last night, had the star in the middle with the 7 stars around the outside in like a V shape, but it looked like it should go in a heart. And I said, there is a star constellation called the 7 Sisters. And here we go. The 7 Sisters. Okay. And this is Birthing Creation's Tapestry of Life and Expression. Now let's have a look and see what the star, I think it might be the 7, it might be under SE for 7. 7-Star Sisters. Here we go. Are we ready? There are new creations that want to be born, beauty that's yearning to be woven, new consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you're being called to surrender to these creations. And that's a similar thing to loosening your grip. You're surrendering to what will be. To usher in a new era of consciousness and do your bit in weaving the web of life. This is the card of the artist and the midwife. You're being called to ponder questions. What wants to be birthed through you? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean literally birthed. It could mean, like it says artist, a creation, a project, anything that is coming from within you is being birthed through you. What new creations are whispering in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred space. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life, and that is what Loosen Your Grip was all about. Yay! Earth is renowned as a place of manifestation, and creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten how to create. Somewhere along the way, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, as poets. Yet to be human is to be creative. Creativity is part of your true nature. And it's true, even if you're not artistically inclined, you do still create things. You create ideas, you create situations, you're always creating different things. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, such as a new business or a book. That's a tick for me. Or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty in your home or in the way you cook. Regardless of the end result, you're being called to express yourself through your creativity, to the creative projects that both scare and excite you. Take particular note of the scare bit, because this is loosening your grip and allowing that empty space for something to go into. And you have to release the fear for something to come into that space. So it's very much the scare part of that. It's something that it does excite you, but there is that fear because it's something different, it's something new. To find a way to weave beauty back into everyday life, for where there's creativity, spirit and soul are present. And the world needs those qualities now more than ever before. And that is so, so true of how things are. And then the Starseed Soul Inquiry is, what new creations are you being called to birth? Now, a lot of the stuff I got through, I kind of did it as I went along, and these two go very much together. You need to loosen your grip on something and release the fear that empty space is a resulting in that empty space for this creativity to come in, and this creativity will fill that space and you will birth something incredible. How that comes about is down to you. But it will be something. And we did have something very, very similar the other day about something coming along that will be incredible. We had it a couple of days ago, I think. So that's what is. I'm sorry about reading from the cards, but as I say, I've rarely done any of this. So I do need the prompts from those cards at the moment. But they did seem to weave together extremely well, which is no surprise. It's always like that. And I get the messages as we're going along that connect them. So apart, they may say two different things, but I get the messages in as I'm reading what's connecting the cards together. So that's the end of today. I hope this has given you some insight into what you need to do for today. So I shall leave you with love and light. As always, I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope the weather is kind to you. Namaste. I apologise, end live video isn't working. I will come back to you in a sec. Let me end YouTube first today. There we go. It's just there's a delay in things on